This is the Conservative American Message, hosted by the one and only Cam Lau. It's Saturday, January 28th, 2023, and you can join me every week to hear the greatest political commentary known to man. So as it turns out, all of our elected officials have been irresponsible with classified materials. Not only did Trump and Biden have classified documents illegally being kept after their time in office, but now former Vice President Mike Pence has found some in his possession. The National Archives are now asking all former presidents and vice presidents to check if they've got any. This is honestly pretty sad that these sensitive materials have been kept so insecure. At least Trump and Pence just left office. Biden has documents from back in the Obama administration. Both Trump and Biden have had separate special counsels appointed to investigate their mishandling of these documents. Now, this isn't totally unprecedented, but no former presidents have ever been prosecuted for such crimes. And like I said before, Hillary Clinton already set the precedent with her emails. She destroyed the evidence and played dumb to technology. Now, I'm certain that that was the least of Hillary Clinton's crimes, and I'm also certain that the only truly secure document in all of Washington, D.C. is Jeffrey Epstein's client list. We all know the federal government is a joke, but certain state governments across the nation are actually working to fix their states. Take Iowa, for instance. They recently passed a huge private school voucher program that will revolutionize education in their state. There's a lot of misinformation about the bill that is mostly being spread by teachers' unions, but I'm going to set the record straight and fully explain how this bill actually impacts public and private schools. First of all, Governor Kim Reynolds campaigned on the issue of school choice, and she won the election, alongside many Republicans who won seats in the legislature, creating a Republican supermajority elected by Iowans. So how this program actually works is that parents who choose to send their kids to an accredited private school will be able to use approximately $7,500 towards their child's tuition every year. The money never goes to the parents, but rather is put into a savings account by the state, and the state pays it to the school. If the money isn't fully used in a year, it can be carried over until the child graduates high school. That's because private high school can often cost more than the lower grades. Public schools will also receive $1,200 in additional funding per student in their district that attends a private school. Prior to this, public schools received no funding for students that don't attend their school. So public schools are actually getting more funding. Their real concern is how many kids will leave public schools, because they receive about $17,000 per student that goes to the public school. But if a public school cannot provide the same quality education as a private school, they should lose students and funding. We will not see a mass exodus of students, though. They've only estimated about 2% of public school students are going to leave now that this money is available. So in the end, this bill makes it more affordable for parents who can't or can just barely afford private school tuition, and additionally gives more funds to public schools. But those who continue to speak out against this don't understand any of that. On my personal Facebook account, I made a few posts about school choice leading up to and after the passage of the bill. I had a few people fairly riled up, but all of them were public school teachers or married to one. So they automatically believe everything their teachers' union is feeding them. I had one person basically tell me that because of school vouchers, society was going to slowly collapse. I had another one that listed out their objections, A, B, C, D, and F. Most of these arguments were false claims that we debunked earlier, but the biggest argument I see from everyone on the left is that private schools will discriminate against who can get in. But the public schools are discriminating against students as well. We've already talked on this podcast all about that. The biggest message you need to hear is that crazy leftist ideologies are being pushed on our children in public schools, not just in California, but right in your backyard. You think your kid's school is fine because it's in a rural conservative community? You're dead wrong. I know because over a decade ago, when I was in elementary school in a rural conservative public school, critical race theory was already being taught. We were being told that homosexuality and abortion were okay. I even had a teacher label me as a racist in 7th grade just for asking questions about violence during the civil rights movement. If you're a parent, you have to look at all of the options and make sure your kid isn't being indoctrinated by your own tax dollars. After the government steals those tax dollars out of my paycheck, with the remaining money they let me keep, I sometimes like to go to a restaurant called A&W. They are known above all for their world-famous root beer. Their mascot is even Rudy the Great Root Bear, but Rudy has been called offensive by some because he doesn't wear pants. You've seen him in his orange sweater just letting it all hang out. Apparently, A&W was forced to throw some jeans on him. They issued this statement: America, let's talk. In 1963, Rudy the Great Root Bear has been our beloved spokesbear. We knew people would notice because he's literally a 6-foot-tall bear wearing an orange sweater. But now we get it. Even a mascot's lack of pants can be polarizing. Therefore, we decided that Rudy will wear jeans going forward. Not to worry, though, he will remain our official spokesbear. After all, he is unbearably cute and impossible to replace. We are confident Rudy will continue to champion good food, good times for many years to come, now in denim. Now I want to remind everyone that in the wild, not only do bears not wear pants, but they in fact do not wear any clothes at all. Terrible, I know. So how long is it going to take for Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Winnie the Pooh, Porky Pig, or any of them to come under attack? And remember that the people at the corporate office of A&W are making 6 figures to come up with stuff like this. How did we as a country become so fragile? Anyway, that's all I have time for. Were you offended by this podcast? Good. If you want me to talk about something on the show, let me know at the Conservative American Message on Instagram or Facebook. Also, make sure to share this podcast with everyone you know. Thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate you all. Have a great week and stay conservative.